Good day, and welcome to another edition of the Military and Foreign Affairs Network. I am your host, the voice of reason. In this episode, we're going to continue the coverage of the ongoing civil war inside of the former state of Ethiopia. So, as we know, fighting continues. Fighting is very intense, especially in the southern front, and that would be again focused in areas south of Waldea and west of Waldea, and areas centered towards the town of Gashina. So first and foremost, we are hearing that the Tigrayan Defense Forces are in control of the town of Gashina. Now, with that being said, the Ethiopian state and its Amhara paramilitary allies continue to dispute that. They continue to claim that they are, in fact, also in control of Gashina and other areas west of Gashina as well. But again, the fighting continues. I would say that the Gashina issue has not been completely sorted out, and there continues to be heavy fighting and battles raging from Nefes Micha to the environments of Gashina as well. But really important right now, it would appear that the Tigrayan Defense Forces are really making a concerted push towards the city of Dessie. And we can confirm that there are Tigrayan Defense Force Fort elements that have entered the environments of Hak, and I hope I'm pronouncing that right, Hayek. But it would appear that the forces, the Tigrayan Defense Forces, are now operating very close, if not have actually captured the town of Hayek. And that's very important, obviously, as that is close to the gateway of Dessie. And if we look at the distance between that town and the town of Dessie, I'll switch it to kilometers, and we'll go to hike to Dessie, and you're about 19 kilometers, conversion to miles, about 12 miles. So very soon, it could be possible that the city of Dessie, would be able to be hit by artillery fire from units of the Tigrayan Defense Forces using some of its artillery assets, such as the Delta 30 122 millimeter gun. And as it gets closer, obviously it would be able to maneuver these pieces to terrain features to gain even more range if shelling would become a requirement at some point. But the fighting is incredibly intense. There is definitely a very robust and concerted push by the Tigrayan Defense Forces to continue to move south and target the city of Dessie, and then possibly even Kombolcha as well, which is to the south east of Dessie. But the war fatigue in terms of the casualties being sustained really by the Ethiopian state and these Amhara paramilitaries are, I believe, becoming concerning to the high command of the Ethiopian military and the Amhara regional government as well. There has been information put out there in terms of feedback from Ethiopian military units, and it would appear that morale is low, that they continue to sustain casualties. They are undertrained, in many cases under-equipped to enter into combat into these areas, and it's having a toll on the morale of the forces that are operating in this area. The fighting also continues elsewhere in the Amhara region as the Tigrayan Defense Forces continue to be on the outskirts of Debark, and would we eventually see a final push for Debark? We're still waiting for that to occur. But again, a very challenging area to operate, especially as I've mentioned in the past with the terrain features. Now, the real question at this point as well is Eritrea, and what is the despotic regime under the control of Isaias Afwerki doing? Are they preparing for a new invasion of the Tigray region? Are they trying to consolidate and appear to walk away from this conflict at some point with more obtained land, such as the lands in western Tigray? And would that eventually cause issue with the Amhara region if the Eritreans actually completely lay claim to western Tigray and possibly annex it at some point, if in fact the war were to turn south for the TDF and they were never able to reacquire western Tigray? Again, that is not to say that is going to happen. It's just hypothetical. What would be the relationship between the Eritrean state and the possible remnants of the Ethiopian state? Does it become a do we see eventually a somewhat independent Amhara state? And what would that relationship be with Eritrea and the possibility of sharing a border? But again, this is getting way out there and just hypothetical. But I would assume at some point that really could be something to look at, especially if you are an Amharan or even an Eritrean, as these borders could possibly change. But again, not to say that by any means or stretch of the imagination could occur, but as it stands right now, the Eritrean army is heavily invested in Western Tigray, and is really the only force that is preventing a Tigrayan Defense Force push into Western Tigray at this point. And we continue to hear about a possible buildup of Eritrean forces along the border with the Tigray region. There has been some reports coming in the vicinity north of Adigrat about some activity that is taking place with the Eritrean military. The Eritrean army has the Eritrean military pushed from the Eritrean border in a southwardly direction. Again, information is rather challenging to get at this point, but it sounds like the possibility that something could be occurring in this area between the Eritrean army and the Tigrayan Defense Forces is absolutely possible. But right now, the most heaviest fighting is occurring along the southern front, in which we are seeing a really, again, a concerted push by the Tigrayan Defense Forces towards the city of Dessie. And it would appear that at least in the southeastern front in this direction, the Ethiopian military, the remnants of the Ethiopian military, which is being supported right now by elements of the Republican Guard and commando units, and obviously large amounts of paramilitary militias from the Amhara region, are really having challenges right now in the southeastern frontal zone as they attempt to defend the approaches of Dessie. But again, we'll keep an eye on the southeastern front, as we will other areas such as the areas around Gashina, as this is where the heaviest fighting is obviously occurring. And as soon as we get more information about this frontal zone or other areas of operations as well, I will absolutely make a video. Have a great day, everybody, and I will speak to everyone soon.